Have you ever wondered what differentiates an 8-figure media buyer from the rest? Most people struggle with underperforming Facebook ads and don't know why. But here's the thing, top media buyers have a completely different approach. One that guarantees that no advertising dollar is wasted. So in this video I will reveal the exact strategies 8-figure media buyers use to consistently get incredible results like these. My name is William and I've generated over 10 million in sales for 7 and 8-figure e-commerce brands with meta ad systems and performance creatives. With that having said, let's get straight into the video. So now we are looking at an ad account that we're currently running, not like tons of campaigns. Yes, there are some like more campaigns before, but right now only 2 campaigns are running. And that is already the first point that I want to mention here. Because you will see that smaller brands or beginner media buyers, they will have like 1 campaign for testing, 1 campaign for scaling, 1 for top of funnel, 1 for middle of funnel, 1 for bottom of funnel, and so on. The problem with that setup is that every single campaign competes against each other and then so diminishes the returns of every campaign that you're running. So really what you want to do is just run 1 campaign, or if you do, for example, some audience testing as we do in this campaign, or if you have any other product that targets another audience, then you can actually run it as a separate campaign, and that will not result in audience overlap because the audience there is different. Now let's take a look at our main campaign. All the retargeting ads, all the cold ads, all in there. And Facebook, because it's, as you can see, a CBO here that we are running, will just allocate the budget towards the best performers. That way you also save on test budget. So you can see, for example, these ad sets, we just launched them recently and they didn't get much spent yet. While these, they are getting the most spent and they are the current best performers. We tested in the same campaign, in fact in the same CBO, because based on the early metrics, Facebook will determine if it's worth spending on it or not. And if the new creatives have a chance against the current winners, then they will get spent. If not, they will just spend a few cents, maybe a few dollars, and then Facebook will already know, okay, based on the intermediate metrics, it isn't worth spending more on them because they won't outperform the current winners. So this is the most budget effective way to test and how Facebook optimizes your budget. Now it might happen that you launch new ads and they don't take any spend, but that doesn't mean that the system is flawed, but that actually just means that you have to make better ads that will outperform the current winners here. The second thing that you will see on many beginner accounts but on no professional brand account is that there are a lot of Facebook advertisers is that they just run singular ads and then they determine, okay, did it perform or did it not perform, and then they keep running it or they turn it off. Well, this is exactly what you don't want to do, and let me show you how. So here, for example, you can see that we are running only DCTs, right? Now if you're thinking, oh, but DCTs are getting rotated out, doesn't matter, you can still split test. You can either use flexible ads, even though they have a bit less data, make split testing variants of a certain concept, but then run it as a regular ad set, alright? These are DCTs, so if we go on breakdown, here we actually put in like the same concept, the same messaging, but 3 different designs, 3 different images, and we let Facebook actually determine what of those is the best version and what is the winner. And that is very important because if you have just 1 ad, it's very likely that something is off and then it doesn't perform. Let's say you have a video with a weak hook, but the video is fire. Then because of the weak hook, it might be not a winner and not get enough spent. So what we do, if we run a video, we just have 3 different hooks connected to the same body, and then we put this into a dynamic creative test or like a flexible ad, or you can just even put it into 1 regular ad set but then not mix it with any other ad concepts but just the split testing variants, just 1 variable different, and then you'll able to see what Facebook spends the most on. For example, let's take a look at, let's clear the breakdown here, let's take a look at this one that's currently spending the most, right? So here we can see that if we break it down by image, this one is getting by far the most spent and these don't get much. So here we have the 3 versions, this one, and this one, and instead of just saying, oh yeah, this is the winner, now we can actually look at this ad as well, and this ad as well, and this, and compare, okay, and think, why is this actually the winner? Why is this performing so much better than the other ones? And then we can think, okay, maybe it's the color of the code that's more appealing. And then we can split test that hypothesis with another ad set where we have, for example, just this image, but with codes of different colors. Or maybe it's about not including the horse in this case, right? You can build a hypothesis, test it, and then in every ad iteration, you can build on this and improve your ad performance rather than just randomly testing. Also, one other important thing is don't let yourself get confused by the cost per result being here cheaper, even though the spend went to this one. So what beginner media buyers might often do is they are like, okay, wait, this actually gave me a ROAS of like 4.5, 4.2. I want to spend more on this. to get a better ROAS than just 3.38. But that's wrong. Here's again where the pro media buyer just trusts Facebook's algorithm, and if these ads just got, like, for example, a ROAS of 4 but less spend, it means okay, on that small spend they are maybe more profitable relatively, but assuming that they would get just as much spend in this as this one, chances are that they would not perform as well on scale. So Facebook spends on the ad that's most scalable, not with the highest ROAS, but most scalable, and this is what you need to get new customers in. So it's about having everything in one campaign, and then also every creative that you ever launch split test. Now I will get to the most important main differentiator between an 8-figure media buyer and a beginner media buyer. And that is that a beginner media buyer, or like an amateur, they might be even running the system, they might be even doing all of this that I just said. But what they do is they just do it and then they tell you, okay, it went well, or oh, it didn't went well. And they tell you we have a new winner, we have a loser, and so on. But the key difference is in knowing the numbers. For example, if on this account something would dip, the beginner media buyer would say, oh, maybe let's test more ads. But they actually don't know why it dipped. And this is why it's so important that you track everything and know exactly what numbers you have to hit. This is why we have such a tracking sheet for every brand that we work with. And you will see that we have here the totals, the Shopify metrics, but then also the Facebook metrics. And if you take a look at it, you can see that we have very basic metrics, of course, like ad spend, CPM, but then we have like clicks, landing page views, add to carts, checkouts initiated, and purchases. So you see that this is the exact micro chain action that the customer actually takes until they do the purchase. Now, why is this so important? You might be thinking, okay, whatever, I have the data here. But the thing is, Facebook doesn't provide you with metrics to track the whole funnel constantly. You can see here we have metrics that are getting calculated based on these inputs. So what actually is the customer journey? Okay, they have to click on the ad, they have to view the landing page, they have to add to cart, they have to initiate a checkout, they have to purchase. So make sure to track all the intermediate conversion metrics. So here from click to landing page view, how many people actually waited until landing page loaded, and how many people from those that got on the landing page actually added to cart, and so on until the purchase, right? Now, so why is this so important? To see trends. For example, you will be able to see in some cases then 23, then 20, and then suddenly like 15, 10, and then you see immediately, okay, what's going on here? Taking that, you can analyze what's happening. You see, okay, you don't just blindly go in and think, oh, like ROAS is going down, let's test new ads, because what if actually the click-through rate is fine? It might actually improve, so the ads are working just fine, but the ROAS is getting still lower because, for example, less people add to cart, or because, for example, less people actually see the landing page. So why might people drop off before they even see the landing page? Well, it's because of the loading speed of the website, not even the ads. Or why might this go down? Well, for example, let's say they clicked on a product, they got to the website, and then it's actually sold out. Well, of course they won't add it to cart because they can't. This actually happened many times, and before blaming the ads and like doing too much in the ads manager, clicking buttons, hoping that something will get better, you should just first analyze the whole funnel and see where exactly something dropped. And then when you see exactly what metric in the funnel dropped, you can conclude why it dropped, and then you can solve it. So that's the main differentiator. Analyze cause and effect, and that you can immediately say, hey, here's going something wrong, we want to improve it, we need to change this and that. Even see that, okay, this is actually like below 80%. Out, I actually lost a lot of ROAS and sales just because the site wasn't that fast. So then you just improve that, super low hanging fruit. Now once you have the media buying on point, you will need to focus on understanding the data and implement the findings in the ad creative to drive performance and growth. So if you want to work with me to make sure your Facebook ads make as much profit as possible, check out the first link in the description. And if you're not ready to delegate yet and want to do it yourself, check out this video where I explain why some brands keep scaling with one winning ad after another, while others struggle to maintain a profitable ROAS. Keep scaling, see you on the other side.